Alright, let's get building. Let's put together this AR Mongrel. First thing we're going to do is install the ejection port cover. Now I've got a little C-clamp in these needle nose, and there's a groove on this ejection port cover rod. And I just push that little C-clamp down over the top of that groove. Make sure I'm down all the way. Here we go. Now this rod goes on the ejection, or on the upper receiver like this, and then there's a spring. What you have to do, you have to twist this spring so that it provides the pressure against the port cover. The small end is going to go against the receiver, and this large end is going to go against the cover door. So I'm going to twist it. I'm twisting it the wrong way though. There we go. I'm going to twist it and start it on the rod. I think I got it. Oh, no I didn't. Try it again. Twist it one time. Get it started on the rod. Against the ejection port. There we go. Then I'm going to push that rod all the way through. There we go. Now the ejection port cover door is installed. Now, the only thing keeping this rod from coming out is that little C-clamp. And then once the barrel's installed, it won't be able to go that way. The clamp stops it going from the rod from going this way, and the barrel will stop it from going that way. So let's test it and see how it works. It's pretty firm. There we go. Seems to work just fine. Alright. Ejection door cover is installed. There is grease all over that thing from the factory. Now we're going to install forward assist, and I'm going to turn this block over so I can install that roll punch pin from the bottom side. Let me move this camera just a little bit so you guys can see. There we go. Okay. So there's a spring goes over top of this forward assist. I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to put a little grease on it. So it'll be well lubricated. So I don't intend on ever taking this out again. This is Tetra gun grease. Good reviews on the internet, so we'll see how it does for me. And then there is a flat side to that ejection port cover you can see under that spring, and that's going to go toward the hole for the roll pin. Alright, then I'm going to take another punch and run it up through the hole. That ain't big enough. Let's see if this one is. It's too big. Well, maybe I'm not. Oh, here we go. There we go. And The way my block's made, I'm not sure how this is going to work, but we're going to try it and see. Now I'm going to try to get this roll pin started. Yeah, that's just not going to work, is it? Okay. So there's the trials and tribulations of a first timer. What I'm trying to do is install that roll pin from the bottom side, and with the aluminum block I've got this receiver in, it's just not going to work. So what I think I'm going to do, I'll take the receiver out of the block and we'll just hold it on top of the vise anvil and see if I can get it to work that way. Let's see. I like to protect things as much as I can, especially if I want to be beaten on them. Okay. I'm going to take this roll pin, see if I can get it started in here. I do not have a starter, roll pin starter like I see some of these guys using. Let's see. That's the tapered end. Or is it? Yeah, I think it is. Huh. Never done this before, and that's definitely got a lip on it, and that looks to be tapered. Let's see, try it again. Using a punch with a little bit of a I see where those roll pin starters would be handy. There we go, I think I got it started now. Try it a little bit more. Huh. Well, that didn't work, did it? What happened is my my slave punch underneath fell out while I was hammering, and the forward assist went shooting across the floor. Now, where did the damn spring go? Well, I bet I'm not the first timer to do that. Alright, well, let's take a time out while I find the spring I just lost, and hopefully can find it. Alright, we're going to try this again, hopefully with better results. And like I said, I'm a first time builder. I'm going to show this just the way it happens. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Alright. The only thing I think I can do different is possibly hold that thing in, but I don't think I can do that and hammer at the same time. Evidently I've got to hit that roll pin just hard enough to get down in there and knock that bottom pin out, so wish me luck. Nope, didn't do it. Damn it. Alright, I got an idea. Well, if there's a will, there's a way. So, instead of using the punch as a slave till I get this roll pin in, I decided to tape the forward assist rather, in and see if that would work. So far, so good. Let's see if I can get this roll pin all the way in. Okay, just about there. Alright, I think I got it. Alright, I got it in. Wasn't pretty, but it's in there now. A little excess grease off that I put on there. Looks like I marred up with that punch a little bit right there. Which, if I had been smart, I would have put a little piece of blue tape there and saved myself from scratching that. So, everything else looks good though. Alright, so now on our AR Mongrel build, we've got the ejection port cover installed and the forward assist installed. Next we're going to install the barrel and the UTG super slim handguard. The first thing I want to do, I'm going to add some anti-seize to the threads of this receiver, because I don't want them, if I ever want to replace this barrel, God forbid in 10 years I shoot the barrel out, wear it out, whatever, and I want to replace this barrel, I don't want it to be frozen to the receiver. And I have some anti-seize that I use on the breech plug of my muzzle loader, so I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of it on this upper receiver. Make sure it's all the way around. I think that should do it. Alright. Then I'm going to take my barrel, and actually before I put on that ring, that locking nut, I'm going to take a little bit of CLP and I'm going to coat this barrel down. So once I get that handguard on there, I'm probably never going to get to it again. Let's see how to use this. It has this little squirt bottle here with a little tube on it, and I'm assuming that just pushes down inside there. Yep. So I want to put a light coat of CLP break free on my barrel. And just make sure it's coated before I finish this build. Like I said, once I get this together, it's going to be a while before I want to get into it, and I don't want any rust on my stainless barrel. Okay. Next thing I do is you've got the locking nut, and then you have this piece that UTG calls, let's see, a locking ring. So you have a barrel nut and a locking ring. The barrel nut, of course, goes on first. And it says fit the free float barrel nut on the upper receiver and hand tighten for test alignment. So we're going to do that. Seems to be going on pretty tight. See, I got a little excess antifreeze on there, anti-seize. I'm going to pull that off. Well, that's hand tight. I think that's where it's supposed to be lined up. Let's see if it matters here. Make sure the threaded holes on the handguard align with the slots on the barrel nut. If the alignment is correct, move to step 10. Alright, so there's that, and then they tell you to pull the handguard over the top of it and make sure that you have a clear sight into each of the screw hole locations. That looks pretty good. You have shims you can use, but I'm going to try a couple shims because it looks to me like that thing could come out just a hair. Now, the shims go on before the locking nut. So you got to take the locking nut back off, which is fine. Let me pull that excess antifreeze off of there. Okay, got that clean. I'm going to try 2 shims. The kit comes with 4. They fit pretty tight on that barrel right there. There we go, and they go up against the flange on the barrel. The reason I'm putting those spacers on there is because when I hand tighten this and I put the handguard on, it looks to me I can just barely see the edge of that slot hole, and I don't want to see that because I don't want those screws to be rubbing up against it. Alright, there it goes. Alright, good. Now when I look inside the screw holes here and here, I do not see the barrel nut. So that's what I want. Now, I'm going to work on torquing down that barrel nut and get it to the proper spec. I'm going to reposition the camera so I can do that.